Hey everyone, Crazy Canuck coming at you again. I'd like to introduce you to Medusa. This is the bottom part of the log that I did a couple videos ago. It was, just gnarly. I'm expecting some good things out of this. There's branches coming out of this thing everywhere. So we'll get this thing measured up. See what we're dealing with. 10 foot 6 inches. That is a nice sized tree. And the diameter on this thing (3'2", 38 inches. That is the maximum capacity of the mill. And actually, to get the saw head frame past it, I'm still going to have to take off a couple inches, but I think I'll get it on the mill first before doing any of that. Also, I think I'm going to straighten this puppy up. It's got a lot of rot here, so I think I'm going to take the chainsaw, take off probably 6 inches, knock this thing down to 10 feet or slightly under, and might even get a cookie out of it, who knows. So we'll get that all, I'll get that trimmed up and get the mill set up. Just pulled it out here. And while I'm out here, I'll show you what I did. I took some of my leftover lumber and made myself a toolbox. So all my chains, all my pullers, my chainsaws, everything goes in here. And then when I go out to the field, I can take this on the porch of the tractor and go with me, and I've got all my tools. I just have to put a lid on it yet. It'll be done. So I'm going to get the mill set up, and we're going to get this 6 inches cut off the end of this tree, and I'll come back and we'll see if we can get this thing on the mill. See you in a few. Okay, got this end cut off. You can see some really crazy growth rings in here. If it wasn't so rotten, this would make a really nice cookie. Make an awesome table. I would throw some cookies off of this thing, but I'm going to have to trim it down on the sides just to get it through the mill. And I do have another one over there. Got a good crotch figure to it. I might just make some cookies out of that one. But there it is, it's cut off. Mill is more or less set up. I'm going to put the log on the mill. Recheck the level, because that log is roughly 3,000 pounds. So it might get those jacks to settle in a little bit. So I'm going to swing the tractor around. I want the big end by the saw side, a little bit better control. Let's see how this thing's going to go on here. We have to do some trimming. Get it on and we'll take a look. Okay, that took a bit of doing, but it's on the mill. I had to block it up there. I'm not going to worry too much about centering the pith on this one. It's going to sit where it sits. It's too big and ugly to try and maneuver. She's maxed right out. My first cut's probably going to be 6 inches off the top. I'm going to have to do some trimming along the sides here. I would take off right up to about here. Maybe I'll take enough off that I can maybe do a router sled job and make something. Same on this side. You can see this big branch sticking out. It's got to go. And a big chunk off of here has got to go. So I'll do some trimming. See if I can get this past. It'd be nice to actually run it past without starting it, but I'm at max height at 31 inches. So this log, I think at the base was 42 or 43 inches. And it's kind of sitting down below the bunks. These poor quarter inch bunks on this Norwood, they they did a little bit of moving when I put this log on here. That's one thing, they should be a little bit beefier. But anyway, I am going to do some trimming and see if I can get this thing whittled down so the 38 will go over top of this thing. I'll be back when I get ready to start cutting. Alright, that was fun. Had to do just a little bit of trimming. Took a big chunk off. So I think it's going to be close to actually getting past. Very close. Same on this side. Might have to still do a little trimming. We'll see. But yeah, that was quite the episode. So I'll take this first cut and see where we're at. And then I think I'll set the camera up to do some action shots for you. And we'll see how it goes. This one is going to be interesting. Also, when I'm done, I can take this small piece here and throw it on my saw jig and do a few slices, and I think this is going to be interesting for someone. Alright, well, I'm going to get this thing rocking and rolling. See if I can get this first cut off. Once I get the first cut, I know I can pass through, and then we can get some action. See you in a bit. Okay, so we got the first cut finally done. Lots of hacking, lots of trimming. But yeah, this was going to be pretty nice in here. Lots of stuff going on. A little bit of rot. Got the soft spot here. Nice inclusion here. Quick in color. All kinds of awesome stuff going on. So one of the trims I have to do, I have to take the chainsaw and cut a big chunk off of here. I ended up cutting into this part. So I'm going to do a cleanup. I'll take maybe an inch to the quarter, clean up the cut, and then this will make charcuterie boards or whatever. And then from there on I could do the serious platters. I think I'm going to be doing a little more trimming yet. We'll see how things go. But I'll do this little cleanup cut and I'll be back. Okay, got it all cleaned up. I changed the blade, the old blade. It's getting a little wavy. So now I'm ready to cut my first 2-inch slab. All right, let's take a look at this. I have to back up just to get it all in. That's got some nice figure to it. Just gonna reel out the old tape measure. Reach all the way up there. See that? 118 inches. 9 foot 10 and a half by 28. Hey, gotta load it up on the tractor. These slabs are heavy, 2 inches thick, 33 inches wide, 9 foot 10 inches long. So I'm gonna carry on and start slabbing this puppy down. Top's looking really good. Noticed there were stones in the bark, so that's probably what dulled the blade to begin with. So hopefully I got all those out. So I'll slab these up. I'll have to do a slab, slide it off, and just keep doing that because there's no way that that's gonna get through that opening. So not gonna bore you with all of that. I'll take another shot later on when I get a little bit further down, show you how things are going. Last night got called because of darkness, so I just left everything. Flipped this over today. Now just used the tractor and a chain and flipped her over. The log stops are good, but the log dogs are too far in to be able to use them. So I'll just rely on the weight of the tree to kind of hold things in place. Now, there's a couple things. You got a little bit of trimming I got to do here and probably right here. Also, probably a good idea to be wearing gloves at all times because when you're peeling bark off, you might find a little friend. And if it was a little warmer out, that could have hurt. So I also noticed when I was putting the slabs away from yesterday that I actually cut through a screw on, I think it was the 3rd or 4th slab. So I'm going to make a few cuts here, take off the high spots, maybe take one leveling slab off of here, and then I'll change blades again and finish it up. So I'll see if I can get this all trimmed off here, and then I'll set her up for some action shots. All right, let's make some product. Well, we got one crazy slab here. Don't think I'll get her off in one piece. Look at that monster. That's all over the place. Alright, let's see if I can salvage this one all in one piece. Maybe go throw some water on it later. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, first thing I do, I run the mill to the end where it's nice and easy to work on. And I clamp, put a clamp on the rail. Since this is a manual saw, it just slides. So I'm going to put a clamp on there, keep it from rolling back on me. Pull off the covers. Clean out all the sawdust. Alright, all the way ahead. Take the tension off the blade. Pull the old blade off. That's the easy part. Now for the hard part, putting the other one on. And this is a little trick I came up with to make this job a lot easier. What I do is I take these little clamps. I'll throw a clamp on the wheel. Throw a clamp on the other wheel. And I better make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, more or less. We'll just fix that up. There we go. Maybe now you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I put these little clamps on top of the wheels to keep the blade in place. And then it allows me to manipulate the bottom without it springing out and doing damage. So once I get it in place, start tensioning it up. And once I got a little bit of tension on, she stays where it's supposed to be. I take the clamps off. Rotate a little bit, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, and then crank up the tension. More. Couple times I tried to change a blade. I was fighting with it popping off and losing blood. This is so much easier. And I just tension it up a little bit at a time until I get where I want it. Rotate it, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And she's good. Now it's just a matter of putting the covers back on. that's it. Blade's done. Now the blades I'm using right now, it came with a 10-degree blade. Probably the markings are all off of this. It's 1.25 inch, 7-degree blade. It came with a 10-degree, and I bought 10 7-degree. And I'm going to buy a few more 10s, so I got a balance of either. So I'll get this back lined up, and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's throw some water on this and see what we got. Man, there's some interesting things going on there. If somebody wanted to make an epoxy table with a piece that looked like a bunch of islands, this would be it. Now I'll take a look at what's happening over on this other one. Oh yeah. Got a little bit of rot, got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Right on. Alright, well, I'm going to finish slabbing this one up. Get it on the tractor and have to take it back to the shop and get them all sorted out. That's the fun part. So I'll be right back. Alright, we got her all slabbed up. The last two slabs have to be 2.5 inches to make it work right. This is definitely water-worthy. Look at that. And you get some epoxy on that. That's going to be amazing. Get you a better look at this. Look at those colors. This is crazy stuff. Doesn't get much better than that. So that's it for this poplar. And as usual, like if you like, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time at the sawmill, or maybe at the bees. This is the Crazy Canuck signing off.